Broadcasting. Live. From the chicken wing capital of the world, Buffalo, New York. You're listening to the Marketing Above All podcast. Your source for all things, marketing and total world domination. This is Marketing Above All, and this is your host, Michael Tasner.
Hey, welcome to episode number 8. Today's topic is this: upsells and add-ons. So there's a lot of places that you are leaving money on the table. Like a lot of places. The intention of today's episode is to really just get you thinking about these different places so that you're then able to start to solve them, but start to really be creative about what else you can do. So I'll give you the simplest of upsells / add-ons, and then we'll talk through some different local businesses of what does that upsell and add-on look like, and what makes it really a good upsell and an add-on. So if I look at the easiest example, it's definitely the grocery store checkout lanes, where you're literally walking through and there's all these little different things you can just put in your cart, and candy and snacks and beef jerky, water, soda or pop, and all these little things that you can just add on. And it's almost like an effortless, it's right there, you're already checking out, so it's that impulse purchase. Now, I don't necessarily want this to be an impulse purchase in terms of what I'm training and coaching you on, but rather I want it to be effortless for someone to do more business with you. So let me give you some different examples as we start to talk through these. So let's say you're selling desserts or wedding cakes and things like that. So there's a local bakery that I frequent on a regular basis. And while I'm buying a birthday cake from her, she's never once offered any kind of upsell or add-on. So what upsell or add-on would make sense? So the easiest is to offer delivery. I would definitely be willing to pay for delivery and or setup. Obviously, if it's a wedding cake, they're traditionally delivering it, but a birthday cake, let's say it's a $100 birthday cake, it's still 20, 30 minutes or more when I'm running around already trying to get everything kind of done at the last minute. So that would be a little easy upsell or add-on where maybe the hard cost is, $5 and she charges $10 or $15. And depending on my schedule, I most likely would take her up on that. Would you like to add on a couple of cookies? Would you like to add on a couple of cuts? So it's in the food business, upsells and add-ons are very, very easy. If you go through the drive-through of places, would you like X? Would you like this? So they're subliminally, kind of getting you into that stage where you're then starting to think about the add-on. But if you're in the service industry, for example, there's also lots of add-ons. And the big misconception that businesses make is that when it's an add-on or an upsell, that the prospect or potential customer is going to want more of what they're buying. So just thinking here for a second of an example. So, in the food space and in restaurants and things like that, that very well may be the case. But in more of the services business, they're not going to want, let's say you're doing accounting services, they're not going to want more accounting services. So if you're signing them on for 6 months, the add-on really shouldn't be another 6 months, but rather an upsell or an add-on might be you help them with their personal budgeting, or you get them set up on a methodology called Profit First, or obviously the tax plan, or you're adding on a little upsell once a quarter, you're scanning all their receipts electronically for them. So there's, a couple of different options in that particular space. But the secret sauce is that you want to be doing it when you're getting that sale, rather than you sign them up for accounting services and then a couple of months later you're trying to get that add-on. I want you to get that add-on and that upsell literally from day one. From that first purchase, I want that revenue captured as well. Even though you may not be necessarily charging them for that right away, I want that upsell, I want that opportunity yours. I want you to have that. So that's a simple example with accounting services. Now, the whole Groupon model is driven by low-cost kind of foot-in-the-door offer. And the only way that you're going to succeed with Groupon is if either A, your cost is insanely low, because the economics just really don't make sense, or B, that you've got some really great upsells ready to go. So if you're selling massage, for example, a good add-on wouldn't necessarily be, well, do you want more massage? But rather, well, what about a couple of candles to take home with you? What about the scent that's going to be in the room that you're going to love, for example, and adding that on? You want to be capturing those upsells, those add-ons right from that point of purchase, rather than trying to capture them weeks, months, even years later. So if you take a step back and you really just start to think about, well, what are the little add-ons that I can throw? And a lot of times, if you're selling a physical product, it's doing some bundling. But again, I want to repeat that it's not give them more of the same. I've tried that before, and it doesn't typically work. So if you buy, let's say you're buying wine glasses, you go in and you're buying 8. Well, do you want to add on another 8 for half the price? Not necessarily. If you were buying 8, what do you need 16 for? You would have looked at buying the 16 initially. But a better upsell or add-on would be, hey, make sure you get the wine charms, or we've got a great sampling of wine over here. Would you like to add that on? Another amazing add-on, but it's a little tricky to do, is reoccurring revenue or some kind of subscription. And the reason that it's tricky is that it's a tougher piece to get a commitment from unless it's relatively low cost. But obviously, if there are a little add-on of, well, you're trying this out today, would you like us to continue shipping it for you once a month, every other week, etc.? That's kind of another potential add-on. But again, if you revert back to rule number 1 that I said of, you typically are not wanting to give them more of the same. You want to give them something that's going to help the experience. It's going to allow something to be done quicker. It's going to enhance that experience, or whatever your product or service is, or something that heavily complements it. So take a step back and really start to think about, in your business, where are you leaving money on the table? Where is there an upsell opportunity? Where is there an add-on that you can start offering literally this afternoon, or this evening, or tomorrow? Get out there, take some action. Michael Tasner signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. See you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Marketing Above All. Now get out there, make a change, and take some action. And hey, don't forget to leave a 5-star review and tell all your friends this is the greatest marketing podcast ever. 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 We look forward to seeing you here tomorrow.